Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. I thought I'd give you a bit of an update video on our project BedBug. So normally what I'd be doing is putting out a video which is about 30 minutes long, but this is just going to be an update video, and there's a couple of reasons for that. The first reason is I started filming lots and lots of me rubbing down and prepping the bodywork on BedBug, and unfortunately it isn't very exciting, and I don't think you guys could probably sit through 30 minutes of me just sanding a panel. So bodyworking takes forever, especially when you're dealing with something like Project BedBug, which is, well, you know what it would look like from the start. It was bad. But the other news is I've got some friends coming over from the UK. I'm super excited. I haven't seen them for over 2 years. So what I want to do is spend some quality time with those guys. So I won't be able to be putting in the hours like I normally do on Project BedBug. So the next video, well, it probably won't be coming out for another couple of weeks. So apologies in advance that the next video is going to be a bit late. What else has been happening? Oh, the Suzuki Spacia that we've got as a daily driver, the little K car, is due for its vehicle inspection called Isesaki. It's every 2 years. In the UK, they've got an MOT, which is every year. But this one, I think, is a little bit more involved. They need the car for quite a bit of time, maybe 3.5 hours to have a proper look at it. And what's great with that is we get a hire car. So I have been working on Project BedBug, so I'm going to give you a little bit of an update of what I've been doing. So I've been doing a little bit more work on the interior of BedBug. It has this kind of angle bit of steel that runs across this back panel here, just to give it a little bit more strength and make it rigid. The problem is though, over here, it had like an overlapping piece, which was very crooked, but it was welded into place. It didn't look right. And although all this will probably be covered up, I thought I'd just tidy that up. So I made an incision. I've cut off the excess parts, which are these ones here, and then I've just welded it back together. And another thing I've done, just here, there was some big gaping holes, and it was the same on the other side here. So what I've done is I've just cut some bits of steel, a bit of sheet steel, and I've just tacked it into position just to make these areas a bit tidier like that. But I do need to make something up here as well, and I do have a semaphore indicator on the other side, so I do need to pass the wiring through. So what I'll probably end up doing is making another panel like this and perhaps putting a little grommet in here so I can access the wiring. So you can see with the amount of filler dust, I have been spending a bit more time on these front quarter panels. If you remember, they were very bad, especially this one here. This one here has had quite an impact in the side, and it did take a while to get it straight, but I'm on the filler stage of it. I do need to make it a little bit better. And just at the back here, I have added a little bit more filler along this edge here. It's a little bit wavy, so I've added some more filler and I've blocked it down. And what I've also done is I've added some lines up here and on both sides. Where I actually put lines at the bottom here, I thought it'd look quite nice just to have it matching at the top, almost make it look like these are individual panels, which is pretty similar to what it would be like if it was a Volkswagen back end. And I've also been spending some quality time with our bonnets. I have actually started to prep this. This is almost done. The bonnet itself wasn't too bad. There's little dings and dents here and there. I managed to pop most of them out, and then over the top I put a fine coat of filler. The fine coat of filler was more to get rid of the little marks that I'd created when I was using the flap wheel to clean all that old paint off. It did leave quite a few imperfections, so body filler on the top, DA sanded it back. And the inside of the bonnet, well, we'd already done this. This was really bad. I don't know if you guys can remember. This was really crusty and rusty. And we DA sanded it back, and then I added some of that rust treatment over the top, the overpaintable stuff. And then what I've done is I've just DA sanded it and I primed the underside of the bonnet. It still needs a little bit of work here and there. There's a couple of little areas where the trim was welded over, the little trim holes welded over. And so I will need to do a little bit of body working, but not too much. And I spent a bit more time getting these really bad dented wings back into shape. A lot of sanding involved, a lot of straightening, but I managed to get them relatively good so I could put some primer on. But prior to that, what I did is I did descuzz the underside of these panels. It is a little bit difficult to see. And any areas that had welds on or anything like that, I've just ran some sealant on, and then I've just sprayed a light coat of Stone Guard on the inside of both these wings. And also, while I was waiting for stuff to dry, I did manage to run the block over this door again. And there's some very small imperfections that I need to get rid of, but I'm pretty happy that the door is relatively straight now. So the idea with this video, or what I should say is the next video, was that I was going to prime the whole exterior on BedBug. But as I mentioned before, this kind of bodywork, just trying to get it nice and straight, is taking a lot longer than I anticipated. So what I'm going to try and do is maybe do this in the next video. It may take a little longer, but I really don't know at this point. So there you go, short but sweet. It's a little bit of an update video. I do apologize that it's not a longer video, but this kind of sanding and prepping does take forever. But this week I didn't want to leave you with nothing, so at least you've got something, and that keeps us both happy. So we did a bit of a live unboxing on the live that we did the other day. I don't know if you guys have managed to watch that one. And in the box we have some really nice vintage headlights. They're the sloping kind. They have original VW stamps on them, and the reflectors are in both really good condition. I have no idea where the customer gets these kind of things from, but I'm really glad that he's managed to get some good fitting headlights for Project BedBug. So another thing that's turned up in a delivery are some mirrors, which are quite unique. But something else is that we'd already received some mirrors. I don't know if you remember this, that we received some swan neck mirrors like this here, and these sit on the front quarter panel over the trim. But as you know, we've already deleted the trim on BedBug, so we can't really use these, or can we? I'm not sure at this point. So we've received another pair of mirrors, but the problem lies in that I've already deleted the adapter that fits onto the hinge pin on the door. So it would be a struggle to fit these without actually taking the hinge pins out again and refitting a hinge pin with an adapter on the top, a threaded part, so it can actually get screwed on again. So I've now got 4 mirrors, and I'm not entirely sure what to do at this point. I've got some that fit over trim that I don't have, and I've got some that fit on door pins that I don't have. Interestingly enough though, is this mirror here. I've not seen one like this before. It's an interesting shape, and also it has this crazy looking adapter at the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. It has a threaded piece here which you can undo, and I'm not entirely sure what that's for. Maybe you guys can clear that up for me. So there you have it. Something is better than nothing at all. And I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully it won't be too long. What I'll also do is leave some Japanese culture clips at the end of this video as well, if that interests you. I'll see you next time. Cheers!
Isesaki なしのIsesaki 祭り大抽選会を迷子など何がありましたら芸人の有料玉にお渡し ます。